Hey everyone, I hope you are doing well. I wanted to get on here and share the June paper pumpkin kit with you. I was on vacation when it arrived, and it's taken me a few days to work on it, but wanted to share it with you for those of you who got this kit and are looking for some ideas of what to do with it. Wanted to get those ideas out there. So I love this month's paper pumpkin kit. It coordinates with our Expressions in Ink designer paper pack. So this flyer was included in the box this month, mentioning that paper pack coordinates. So it would be a really great paper pack to add to this and be able to extend the kit and use it to make some other things, other cards and projects as well. So what we got this month was enough supplies to make 9 different cards, 3 of each of these designs shown here. And here are the instructions. We've had some improvements to the instructions, so there is a full page in color for each of the 3 designs now, which is really nice. And we have alternative ideas on the back, nice improvements to the instructions. So the materials that were included were the card bases, lots of die cuts. We have these vellum pieces that I absolutely love. This is a vellum piece, and the background on this card is a vellum piece. We have these foliage die cuts, all of the tags, of course. We got twine and sequins and adhesives. Here are the stamps that were included this month. These are such nice, they're little stamp sets, but they're so nice, especially for the greetings that come on them. They often contain some really nice basic greetings that you can use over and over again. So we got those, we got the flowers, and some cute little decorative stamps as well. And we got 2 ink spots this month. We got Bumblebee and Evening Evergreen, so that was exciting to see 2 of those this time. So these are the 3 cards that I made exactly as designed. This one, I stamped some of the flowers onto that pretty piece that was already printed with the alcohol ink type look. In the background, I stamped the flowers on, added the vellum die cut, and then created this tag to add over the top. This one, I put that vellum is the word, piece in the background, added the foliage, added a little bit of twine, stamped the tag, and some sequins, finished that off. This one, I tied that string around, added the vellum die cut, the tag, and some sequins. So these come together very quickly. Now, if you want some alternative ideas, some extra ideas of what to do with these, I have some for you. And something that I decided to do this month was turn these card bases into some really basic fun fold cards. So if you're new to stamping, if you don't know what fun folds are, there are cards that open in like new and different ways because you fold them different, and then they do fun things. So here is one. I decided to make some gatefold cards. Okay, so normally gatefold cards would open this way, I would say, but we can turn them on their sides, right? So I made this one, and I made this one. And here in a second, we're going to make another one, so I'll show you how you can do this yourself. So this time, I'm going to use that green card base. I'll show you exactly how I did this. So the green is on the back side here, and the white is on the inside. Basically, you just want to fold, instead of folding it normally in half, you want to fold both of your ends in towards the center to where you can see that score line for where you were supposed to fold it. So make sure your 2 flaps meet in the middle and you don't have a gap right there. And you can use a bone folder to score those. Give it a nice good crease. Okay, so that is how I did this. Now, when I did this purple one in particular, the printed part of the card was down here at the bottom, and it goes up here to the middle of the back, but then the top half wasn't printed. So what I did, I took that flower stamp from the stamp set, and I stamped that pattern on before I added my vellum and the other pieces. So it wasn't completely plain that way. Now with this one, I am going to add these pieces right here over top. So to get these pieces, what I did, and it's the same here on this one with the vellum, I trimmed 1/4 of an inch off of the long edge, and then I cut the remaining piece in half. So for this one I'm doing right now, I trimmed it down to 3 inches wide, and then I trimmed that 3-inch piece into 2 1.5-inch strips, okay? So then that is going to fit on your 2 flaps correctly. I will mention this. On the inside, you're going to have that score line where you were supposed to fold the card in half, but all you need to do is trim a piece of white cardstock and place it over that, and you won't even notice. So I've already done that on these 2 cards over here. So now that I have my 2 flaps, I just need to add the decoration. So I think I will just add this thanks for everything so that it overhangs the piece in the middle a little bit. The words are not coming to me tonight. So that it overhangs the opening in the middle. So these are the little adhesive dots that come in these kits. I don't always use these because I have other adhesives around that are a little bit quicker and easier to use, but on these vellum pieces, I really like to use these because they are small and discreet. So I'm placing them right on there behind some of the white printing. And I want to make sure I don't get any of these on the top half of the card. I want to make sure that all of those adhesive pieces stay below the opening. Otherwise, I'm going to glue my card shut. Okay, so there's the thanks. Now I will add this tag that says for everything. I really like that with these kits, we always end up with extra pieces. So I have extra twine, I have extra sequins, I have extra die cuts. So it's really nice to be able to use those on some other cards. Now we'll add a few sequins just to finish it off. And then I have one other alternate, actually I have a few alternatives I want to show you, but then one other one that we're going to create here in just a minute. Okay, so here are our 3 gatefold cards, and I think those are just kind of a nice, different look of something to do with your kit pieces. Okay, now let me show you 2 more alternatives, then we are going to create one more. So here is one. If you follow along with the things I share in my paper pumpkin kits and alternative ideas, you have seen before that I like to create wreaths. With certain stamps I like to create them, and I thought that these die cuts were perfect. What I did, I just snipped them apart in the center so that each branch of the die cut basically was, here's what they looked like to start with. So this piece I trimmed into 3 pieces. The pink one I've trimmed into 2, and then the purple one I trimmed into 3. So then I attached them to my card, added the tag and the twine and some sequins. Here is one. Since I am going to change up my last green card, which is what we'll work on here in a second, I had an extra one of these green pieces here. So trimmed it into a few little strips, added the vellum piece over top and the tag and the twine and the sequins. And now let's create our last card. When I saw these pieces left over, I thought about throwing them out, and then I thought, you know what? I have an idea for those. So what I did, I added some, we'll see if you can see it here, some of our multi-purpose glue across the back of this piece, and I set it aside and let it dry for a while. And I'm going to use this as a stencil or a mask. So I have my green blending brush here. I grabbed my larger size Evening Evergreen ink pad, but you could do this with your mini one, of course, if you like. And I am going to add some ink onto here and blend over the top. Now I'm going to be careful to try not to bend up these little tiny pieces that were between the leaves. I want to be careful not to bend those and get the ink behind them. But I thought it would be neat to do some blending over these. I just remembered a key step that I should have told you and I should have done myself. After you let the glue dry on the back of this, see how that's going to look? We're going to add some more of those and make it look really neat here in a second. I do recommend that you either place this against like your pants or your shirt, or maybe just touch it to your hands a few times just to remove a little bit of that sticky, because this glue has been known to tear a card when you lift this up from it. So I'll go over this one. And thanks for joining in, everybody who is here. I really appreciate you watching along. I hope you had a great weekend. So we'll lift this off. So you can do this as many times as you like. And I never know when I'm doing something like this how much of this I'm going to want to do until I look at it and I just decide that I like the way it looks. But we'll do one down here in this corner. You can make them as light or as dark as you like. I think I want a little bit more over on this side, so we'll add this one. So this is a nice template. You can keep these in your collection when you do die cuts, or you have pieces like this left over from your paper pumpkin kits. You can keep these and use them on your future card projects. So if you do have adhesive on the back, you could put it in one of those clear plastic protectors, either from some of your stamp packaging or like a, you know, those clear protectors for an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that you can get at the office supply store would work as well. Okay, it is just a little bare up here in this very corner. This is me being a perfectionist. Anybody else out there perfectionist like me? But you gotta remember, when you're making cards, you really do have to let some of that perfectionism go, because perfectionism can ruin the enjoyment you get from this if you worry about the little imperfections that you have, because all handmade cards are going to have those. Okay, so I think that's a neat background. So that just gives you an idea of what you can do with some of your leftovers that really are trash, but we can use them for things like stenciling. So I already put these glue dots on this piece. Keep this down here. On this one, there was a stamp that says many, so I didn't think it filled up enough of the space on this tag, so I decided to stamp many things, which I like. Put that right here and add a few sequins to this one. Now, I would love to see some of the things you've created with your paper pumpkin kits. If you have already put it together, send me some pictures. You can share them here in my Facebook group. It's always fun to see what you all are creating out there. So here is our finished card with the stenciling. So let's bring all of these back in. Here are some of those alternative ideas. Here are the Gatefold cards. Oh, just kidding. Not that one. Gatefold cards. And the originals that were shown on the front of the kit. So thanks for watching along. If you have not subscribed to Paper Pumpkin, you can get all of this, a kit for next month for $22 a month. You can sign up for 1 month. You could sign up for a year, anywhere in between. But you get the paper, the ink, the stamps, the embellishments, the adhesives, the instructions, and lots of ideas, all for that $22 a month. That includes your shipping. It arrives in your mailbox, and it's always a fun surprise to see what comes. It's also a fun excuse to sit down and create either by yourself or with a friend or family member. So if you have questions, please let me know. Thanks so much for joining in, and I'll see you again next time.